Now you're going to take the skin, pull it back like this, and you're going to pull the neck, the body part, the long part, down into the head. Oh, and by the way, I did some double stitching on my skin so that the stitching won't fall apart, as well as I made sure that I used the right sewing needle on my sewing machine for this knit scuba jersey fabric. Now see how I'm pulling that blank part in, and I'm going to show you that my craft stick is flat. Keeping it flat, and I'm going to pull it through the neck part, and this knit fabric, which is very stretchable, you will stretch it over that head. And this is about as much tugging as you're going to do in making your doll. And look, I got it over that head. My sides are even. You want your sides even. You want your sides stitching to the side. That's a nice head on her. Nice and solid. Now, I'm going to pull the skin back to her neck. I'm going to fill this up with the polyfill. And the reason for doing that is because you want to protect the insides. You don't want all of your stuffing to come out, number one. And the other reason you're doing this is because you do have that craft stick, and you don't want it to stick out in the waist or anything. So you're just padding your support. This is called the head, neck, body support. Our dolls love a lot of hair. That's what that is. Be generous, not overly generous, but be generous with your polyfill in your body stocking, because this is the body part right there. And you can push it up to, all the way up to the neck area where you did that yarn, right up there. Push it up in there. And there, you have supported her body. Now you take your skin and you pull it down over that. A little tugging, not a whole lot. And see how I pulled the skin over that? And it's forming her body. Now, I did say, do not overstuff, because I made her pot belly. So, I don't want her to be pot bellied. So I'm going to take some of that stuffing out. I'm going to pull it down. I still want to show her waist and everything. So I put too much in there. That's when you know you've overstuffed. You can always go in there and just unstuff it. And you do that before you start pinning her together and everything. So you want to be wise about your filling. Well, you don't want to be too generous. You want her nice and firm. Alright, now we're going to pull the skin back over it. See how easy this is? It's not hard at all. And then you want to smooth out that sock underneath so you don't have any wrinkles. There you go. Do a little pulling. Pull her skin down over it. Come on, girl. Get in there. Now, there you go. Here's her armpits and her shoulders right there. Armpit and shoulders. Let's put polyfill in there. Let's start building up her body, giving her some muscles. Start out slow. You can always add in and always subtract, but start off with a liberal amount. See how that gave me my building up that shoulder? My girls, if you want them to, it's up to you. I don't build up their chest area. That's an option for you if you want to. I'll show you if you wanted to build it up. See how I'm nicely just filling that in? And right there. Now I'm going to take some and put around the neck. There we go. Take your hand and go behind it. Put some behind her. Take your hand and go through there and meet some of that polyfill. Let it come. Let it go there. And I'm going to show you don't worry about that neck because you said, boy, her neck is fat. Don't worry about that because there's just one sewing tip that you'll have with her. Now, if you wanted to build her chest up, let's go and start with 2 matching amount of polyfill. 2 matching amount. And go on this side over here. And put it right there. Okay, that's one. And let's go over here. And let's put our finger in there.
Well, I guess those people in northern California and up in the hills are probably freezing if they don't have power because they turn theirs off.
There you go.
Oh, Lord.
And we fill that excuse me, bust area. We're going to turn her on the back. Excuse me. And we'll fill her flatly. So I'm going to make that flat. Being nice about it. I'm going to flat that in. Just going to fill it in flat. Kind of give her some backbone here. Connect those two. Yeah. See how I'm filling that in? Now, let's give her some hips. She deserves some hips. And you go outside in the skin. And you can fill her in with some hips. If you give her too much, you can always pull it out. You can give her some surgery real quick. And there you go. Give her some hips. Do I worry about buttocks? Just a little. And I'm on the back of her. Just a little. Don't need that string in there. Alright. Give her just a little buttock. See that? So she can sit. Excuse me. Now, look at that. Room for my legs. Don't worry about this because when we have everything completed and her arms and everybody in, she gets a little head tuck right there in the back. That's all you got to do is just a little tuck. And I'm going to take a pin and put it there. Why? 2 reasons. This is my back side, so I know that. And I want to go ahead and get it stabled so when I put my arms in, I'm good. And then I'm going to put a pin right here because we're going to take our needle and thread and we're going to give the cleavage. You all said she wanted her to have breasts. So I gave her a chest. I'm going to put me a pin here because I'm going to get needle and thread of this color material. And I'm going to give her her cleavage. Now there. That is a good, and I can pump up those shoulders. And pump up those shoulders a little bit more. And we are ready. Then we're going to pull. Remember we have that opening? And remember how I love to have that opening because she has a ponytail. And I take small little rubber bands. And I'll get my gold rubber band. I get those little ones in colors. And notice how I'm giving her her ponytail area. So she's coming along. Got a little tush back there to sit. Not a whole lot. And now we're ready to put our filling. I'm polyfill in our legs and our arms. And then once we fill those, we start putting them here. And we start putting them here. If you have a walking foot on your sewing machine, you can sew this with your walking foot all the way across. It's easier for me to just hand stitch it because I'm going to get the same color thread. And I'm going to stitch here and stitch in her back. So I do the hand stitching on their legs and their arms. You're almost there.